generation, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings.
Here we go. Ready? Let's go, D. Ringo.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Shift. Mike 51. Hey, let's get in them holes.
Now a run with Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. Cook. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, you got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Murray. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one good for 26 and a first down.
A gain of 26 yards.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Mike 50. Here we go.
On second down, here's Murray. He's got his man on the comebacker. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun on third down, Murray. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Play action. Now it's Murray. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
They start the drive with Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Here we go. 120.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Cards will take over first and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. They only get 4, but the fake punt works and gets him a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Vikings.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Check 3, check 3.
Murray now on first down. That's complete to Robinson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A good pickup of 6 there on first down.
At the 20-yard line.
Ready. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Cook. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Working from the gun. Wentz. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Able to slither by, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard, leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He finds Robinson. And down inside the 15 he goes.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, Murray. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that. Maybe going to get this out if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. A final shot before half from Murray toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play fake. Murray. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Allen Robinson His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Wentz. And Diggs has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. And it's complete. Henry. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to clear you up. Don't get nervous.
They run it again with Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Cardinals' 40-yard line.
Here we go. 20.
All day, every day, any day.
And they're going to go with a jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And some room to work. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
On first down, it's Cook. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Done. 180. 50 wants the ball. It's a party out. It's a party now.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go. Here we go. 280. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And his kick here is good. And the lead slims to 5 now at 15-10. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Murray now. Flush to his right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 47 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Murray. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, let's go. Here we go, G. Yes. Right here. 51. Mike, 51. I'm on. Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Mike 5-4.
I'm trying to collect. Hey, watch that. Check.
Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Hassan Reddick in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A beautiful fake. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit...
Hey, look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Right back to him on 1st down. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 42-yard line.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Murray to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Murray. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Kill.
Mike 51. Watch the curl.
Back to throw. Wins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
To throw is Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
back. 280. The great 57.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Now Wentz. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from 52, and this for the win. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Now a handoff looking right. He'll have a first down past the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, wouldn't you?